At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Ja.
This is Focus on Liberia, and you know I'm your guy, Anthony here. Welcome, and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Focus on Liberia on our program, The Hour of Politics, with me, Anthony here. Beautiful topic that I got here for you. And as I try to tell you, as I was enjoying myself, getting myself warm up for this exciting edition of The Hour of Politics, is the CPP unified now, or is it state fracture? Folks, there is an image right there. I see people gather. I see leaders assemble. I see their lieutenants and their surrogates all gather. We've heard many fights on social media, on many platforms. They are getting at each other's throat in this fight for the CPP candidacy for 2023. They've accused each other. They have made all these efforts that suggested in every respect that the CPP has not been a unified collaboration. And so when I saw the meeting, when I saw the pictures, and when I read, and when I did my research, and when I made phone calls, all I gathered was that this CPP is about getting into a better place, that there is a unique sense of understanding, that a divided CPP will fail, and not only fail, but it will fail flat. And so in their wisdom, in their political calculation, it is best for them to stay united and seize political fire. Coming folks, taking it all the way at Waka's people, and Waka people have been doing the same. And you know it. If you don't know, I'm telling you now, it has been a fight for the soul of CPP, if it actually does have one. Who becomes Liberia's next president is a fight that will not go easily, because many, especially folks in the opposition, have come to the realization that our current administration is like a cup of tea with no sugar. And you know what that means? It's tasteless, practically useless. And that is the argument that they have been making. But core among their argument has been the Liberian people are suffering. And the current administration is corrupt. The current administration is inept. And that has been their argument. The Liberian people are suffering. The current government is corrupt. The government is not up to the task. Trust us. And then these individuals who have been preaching this message to us that the one we have, meaning the government we have, is not up to the task, something I practically agree with, have not been able to get their house in order. Hey, I'm not going to talk so much here today. Get your phone lines set. It is your turn to speak or forever hold your peace. But you know, I like politics. So I always have to juice it up and give my own views here. So as I was speaking, folks, that's all we hear. Corrupt government, incompetent government, has no priority, has no plan. And that's all we hear. And I don't have my feeling to say I agree. But the question that I have not been able to gather an answer for has been, what is your plan? Since I agree with you, the current government does not have a plan. What is your plan? Since I agree with you, the current government does not have the qualified people in there. Who or where are your qualified people? And that, I've been looking for answers to these questions, and I have not seen them. And I believe and I understand that many Liberians share these questions that I have, and many Liberians also are wanting these answers that I'm looking for a Liberia, the land of glorious liberty. And if I may paraphrase that, a land of glorious opportunity for all. It has to be done with a plan. It has to be done by people of competence. It has to be done by leaders who are intentional, people who know what they're talking about, what they're doing, and how they're doing it, what action they take on day one, on day two, on day three. What are the shovel-ready plans or projects that they have in place? Where can we find them to read them? How are they explaining these policies, these projects, these programs? Why are the individuals? Why are the think tank? Why are the group that they have? What is their team on the economy? The economy, Darius DeLong will tell us, is in the toilet. But he is part of a collaborating political party that does not have a team of economists trying to devise a plan, thinking day after day as to how they will take this economy from the toilet. He is in that collaborating political party. He has popularized the statement that our economy is in the toilet. And yet, that group of politicians or political parties, they don't have a team of economists to show us that they are ready. And I will not stop asking these questions. I will not start making these points. These points are germane for the revival of our country, more so economically and politically. And so the idea of a photo op, we have seen it. We saw it under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We're seeing it today under a gentleman who has, for some reason, got this name called Bwekubwe. I'm talking about President George Manawia. We have seen photo ops one after the other. So I'm not impressed here with the photo ops. Oh yes, I'm not naive. Symbolism matters in leadership. But the symbolism must be backed by plans. The symbolism must be backed by actions. It's like I'm saying, today I'm getting married. But then there is no date for the wedding. Then the hall is now booked. Do you think I really have a wedding in the making? Just because you saw me in a nicely sewn suit and I'm all bordered with a bow tie and you think I'm married? Folks, you get the picture now? So this symbolism that we see, this image that you see behind me, folks, I get it. You have to project symbolically that you are together. You have to project symbolically that you can do it. You have to project symbolically that minus all of you, you can't get to your destination. I do get it. But if you give me a picture that has no frame, if you give me a picture that is not high definition, if you give me a picture that has no durability, and the durability must be informed by the ingredients, by the materials, by all the elements that makes it to be worth an HD picture or a 3D picture. All the elements must be in place. What am I talking about? Beautiful picture. We see the leaders and their surrogates. And right here, folks, you see, these are the leaders of the collaborating political parties. I see Mr. Alexander Bell in the comments. I got some fun to share with you guys. If you are just joining me here, welcome to the Hour of Politics. And again, this is an open mic. I gave myself 30 minutes to speak, and I gave you 30 minutes to speak. So stay with me as we do this. So let me make it a little bigger here, folks. So you see here, this is the image of the leaders in the collaborating political parties. Mr. Alexander Cummings, I see Nyomli Kangaloris, and I see VP Bwaka, and I see Mr. Beninan Wifra Yire. I continue to hear that. Showing, demonstrating, signifying, projecting oneness, that they are unified, that they are in one accord. Something I remember, Comey has adopted a traditional political language here by saying, we will make George Weah one-term president. And folks, there's a reason I said that. I am a student of politics. That's why I love this stuff so much. That's why I have fun with it. I don't get sentimental, even though I come out so authentically sometimes. That's who I am. But hey, to the point, I know a guy, a politician called John Boehner. I know another politician called Mitch McConnell. To those of you in the in other parts of the world, especially Liberia, these are Republican politicians who have a vow some time ago when President Barack Obama was in office. These guys have a vow at the time that we will make George Manuel Weah a one-term president. I'm going to hold these guys accountable individually and I bring you in. So get set to call. The phone line is set and I continue to remind you, this is your day. So as I was saying, John Boehner, then Speaker, Mitch McConnell, then Minority Leader in the Senate, have made it the Republican Party mantra, or like the agenda. It said agenda number one, our overall agenda, to make Barack Obama a one-term president. Have we not heard that before? That is what Mr. Cummings is saying. I like that language. I like that language. But here's the deal. That language is meaningless if the work is not done. Just as John Boehner's language of making Barack Obama a one-term president became an empty and useless statement. Just as Mitch McConnell's statement that they will make Barack Obama a one-term president became useless, empty. Obama will go to win a landslide victory when he sought the presidency for the second term. So yes, you say you're going to make George Weah a one-term president. Show us some unity. Show us the plan. I'm talking about a consolidated plan, a plan that has been crafted by folks in your ranks and file that you might be betting on, that you will bring to government. Let them start work right now. I have started work right now. I want a Liberia that I consider as a glorious land of opportunity. My way of getting that here is to talk. That's my way. You don't like it, it's up to you, but that is my way. Somebody has to do some of the talking. And this is what I have chosen. So even if I'm tired, I come here to ask the questions. I come here to make the point. So back to what I was saying. We have heard this. We will make this person one-term president. We've heard that. The Republican claimed they had a plan. I don't know how good their plan was. I can tell you that plan was not good enough. And that is why it did not materialize against Barack Obama. Barack Obama will go to sweep and non overwhelming and landslide victory against the Republicans. What we saw was John Biden, then Speaker, and Mitch McConnell had their head bowed down in shame. Is that what you might be opting for here? Because all I'm hearing, we will make Georgia a one-term president. Oh, I love that language. But it must be backed by a plan, not just any ordinary plan. A plan that is implementable. A plan that is relatable. A plan that is welcoming by all. A plan that everybody can accept. You are struggling with getting united. You are fighting at each other. And today you want to lecture me or convince me because I've seen this symbolic image of the leaders with their hands up, and is anything for us Liberians to say, yes, they got it together this time? Oh, my eyes are sharper. No, I've seen this picture before. This picture is not different from what we saw with Prince Johnson, Charles Walker Bronsky, Mr. Alexander Cummings right here, and this very Ure right here. We have seen this. This is not new. And what happened? That collaboration that was in the working, it got destroyed. Joshua had won with the opposition at the time. Joshua was there with Cummings in that picture. I'm not going to show it because of time, because I have 5 minutes left to give you the opportunity to speak. So, folks, we saw that. That collaboration then did not hold. Prince Johnson went his way. We all went his way. And what happened? That purported collaboration at that time disappeared. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf will go and whoop them. So, folks, some of you will think that this guy talks too much. He's just punching everybody. Where does he stand? I stand here for Liberia. I stand with Liberia. What I'm looking for is a plan, a group of serious-minded people who are intentional. That is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for meat. I know what it means to say the glorious land of opportunity. It starts with serious-minded people who are unified, who are in one accord, and not only symbolism, but the plans are written. The plans are visible. The plans are being articulated, and there are soldiers. When I say soldiers, foot soldiers, intellectual soldiers, individual Liberians, technocrats, expertise, economists, agriculturalists, you name it. They have their hands on deck, and they are working in unison. But yesterday, you were throwing jabs at each other. Oh yeah, before I forget, I have a little joke here for you. And so, our friends in the Unity Party have been saying, maybe those in the CDC have been saying this thing about Mr. Cummings. That whole Cummings is so short. They call him baby police. And I'm sure too, some folks in the Unity Party felt that it was, a kind of slingshot that, they could just be throwing at Mr. Cummings. Least we know Cummings has a much more better height Then Josiah Yumabwaka. The picture right there could not be much more evidentiary. Do you see that? That's the joke that we're having for you. So we know that if anybody had purported or make this argument or floated this narrative that Comey is so sure and so he will not be a good fit for the presidency in terms of personality, in terms of structure, morphology. If the thing is about height, then I think the Comey folks should be smiling here. I think the Comey will say, well, man, we're outside now. Don't get food. My size, Liberia. And so, yes, Bwaka, we know, is shorter. And so if the debate was who is taller, I think Benina Ure would be your guy, right? But you know he can't be your guy. He has nothing in terms of numbers. We're talking about a game of numbers. It is about the numbers. The last election results for him were debilitating. He does not have the political wherewithal to muster or to gather more votes. He doesn't. But hey, let me remind you, unity is key in all that you do. And so go beyond this picture. Free advice that you don't pay for. Go beyond this picture. Convince fellow Liberians who are desirous of something different. Don't be like a Darius Dillon who gave us a symbolic message that the legislature is dire. I'm carrying a light and he won, and now he's like in there. All he does is talk. Folks, we have talkers in Liberia. Liberians are talkers. In the words of Joseph Yumabwaka, he said Liberians love to talk. Yes, he's right. We are talkers. We talk about everything to the point that even our brothers and sisters in the opposition community, they have made it their business to talk about shoes, to talk about shirt, to talk about belt. Come on. We are talking about a country here. Talk to me about agriculture. Talk to me about education. Talk to me about healthcare. Talk to me about transportation. Talk to me about infrastructure. Talk to me about technology. We all know how our friends in Liberia suffer so much when it comes to internet connectivity. This gun Sunday were trying to have a show with Rabo Monsiokpa, they call him the general, on our program, The Opposition Perspective. He couldn't come on because the connectivity was just horrible. Talk to me about those things. There are many young people who can get connected to the world and even do some jobs outside, or online and get hired while they are in Liberia. The Indians are doing it. Many Indians are in India and working for Microsoft. They're working for all kinds of companies here in the United States and all parts of the world, all because of technology. Liberian government needs to provide us a reliable internet, and that comes with finding the money and building the infrastructure to do it. So enough of this symbolism that is not backed by anything substantive. Enough of this symbolism, enough of this photo op. Come with substantive plans. Demonstrate to us that you are all united by giving the Liberian people a ticket. How are you just wasting people's time here? This thing should be very simple. Now, of the 4% I see on the screen, only 2% have presidential ambition. That's Cummings, the Boakai. Give the Liberian people a candidate. But not only candidate I'm looking for here. I'm looking for a candidate who has a proven record of results of getting the job done. That's what I'm looking for. Don't give me bad experiences, old experiences, wacky experiences. Give me experiences that have been field. I want to kind of experiences, when I look for the catalyst, meaning that which drives it, it's nothing but results. That's all I want. Where I work, I deliver results. Where I'm working right now, I deliver results. Oh, they got blow your own horn, right? Hey, folks, the time is now for you to speak or forever hold your peace. I am going to the phone lines very soon, so if you have not called yet, let me see. No one has called. And so, folks, it's about time for you to call. Give us call right now here at Focus on Liberia so that you can participate here in this conversation. Like I told you, this is an open mic. I have taken 30 minutes to chime in on the topic. And if you don't know the topic, let me remind you the question I'm asking you that when you call, you need to speak to is the CPP unified now? Do you think so? Do you think so that the CPP is unified now? Because we see this picture that suggests unity, symbolism, right? That suggests oneness. Do you think the CPP is unified now because they had a meeting? Or do you still believe, or do you believe that the CPP is still fractured? Give me a call. Let hear from you. It is your time to speak or forever hold your peace. Folks, you have to call. That's what I made this open mic. I got the phone line all set and I'm waiting for you. So while I wait for you to place your call, I'm going to take a little break. And when we come back, don't go anywhere. I will start reading comments because not everybody will call. So I will take a little break. And when I come back, I'll read some comments. I'm sure by that time, folks will be more than ready to call. So stay tuned here. Focus on Liberia, the hour of politics with me. And so
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Job.
And I am Anthony Cyr, ready and set to take your phone calls. Let me, first of all, bring in some comments. It seems to be folks are not ready to talk about this country. We have given you the opportunity to speak your mind or forever hold your peace. And some of you might not be willing to do so. So let's get to some comments here, folks. Augustine Tamba, following religiously from my slum community in district number 16, that is Ninkru Town. And folks, I'm sure you heard this before, or if you haven't, that is my area. And Augustine is always here following religiously. Yeah, from Joetta Johnson. Boom, I'm here right on time. Oh, welcome. I appreciate those who follow us. Yeah, from Ellen. Yes, it's half fun. Anthony, ha ha ha. Okay, she said rather. Yes, let's have fun, Anthony. Yeah, that was when I was dancing to the beat, I believe. Sometimes we have to dance, Good afternoon, my brother, and thanks for your great job. Somebody that is who was that? That was Henry passed away. Telling me thank you, Henry. I want to say thank you too for listening. Hawa Meska, we hear what you say again, my brother. And she said, and former CDC leader, Minnesota, USA. She put in Masatoka Osa. Hey, Hawa, you can leave me alone, small. You can leave me alone, small. You see, yeah, Hawa say, I've formed CEC, I've formed this, I've formed that, right? Hawa again, haha. Did you also call Lofa to see why they all ran outside to see the person they haven't seen in 3 years? Hawa there, like yeah, from Hawaii again. Oh, we know that's why people like you gave us to play ball now. I don't know. Maybe I should be reading some of these comments. Come to the topic. My big brother, so smart like this, but yet he saw a playboy who didn't give the people no strategic implementation. They voted on tribal sentiment and popularity. Wonder shall never end. I still love you, though, brother. Wise man changes. However, if you're talking to me, then you mix it big time. I did not sell anybody to George. We are ask anybody you know. Ask anybody you know. I did not and never campaign for Joshua. In fact, in the campaign, I campaigned against President Weah. So, however, you miss it very big time. Get your facts straight and stop just muffing when you don't have your facts straight. I'm a fat guy. All right. I deal with facts. So before you speak, make sure you got your records correct. It's not anybody in the church can say amen. Sometimes when a pastor speaks, if you disagree, you don't say amen. Isn't that true? When you go to a ceremony, when somebody is speaking, when he says something, those who agree will clap. Some will not clap. Isn't that true? So get it straight, my dear. Peter White answering the opposition leaders are jokers in Liberia. My brother, they have demonstrated in every shape and form that they are joking. The matter before us here is serious. You have a president who controls the state machinery, who controls the coffers of the state. We saw what they did. They can do it. They can do anything. And you don't have it together, and you're not united, and you're showing a picture. Well, why are you comparing CPP to Republican Party? Why? CPP is not a party, but a collaborating political parties. I don't want to argue. I do not want to argue with you. You figure it out. They are not a party, but they say they are a collaboration. Collaboration of what? Political parties. And so what that is. Deal with it. It's kind of hard to see you stand with Liberia, but you were part of the people that saw, oh, how get this thing out of here, man. Yeah, man. Why are you selling this thing here that is not sellable, right? You can't sell this thing. It's not flying. It's baseless and bunch of lies. No record whatsoever. Go and dig and find it and bring it. CPP has an appearance of unity, but you must look for signs and the intensity of unoccurrence. How are the supporters conducting themselves? Are they attacking one another? How has history assured us of the unity of coalitions? Very good question there, and I think I was able to roll on that. How again, you won't read them. How you came to fight? You want to fight about? So you wearing CDC leader Minnesota? How I get out of here? I'm not gonna be reading your comments anymore. Remember, we were part of the movement of justice. I was part of. Hawa is not ready for all these things. A personal conversation that why you bring here is your person here to do what? All right, folks, let me go to the phone lines here. Oh, people are here and they are busy. Hawa, you need to call. You need to call and tell your story. Because what you're saying right there is not making any sense. Let's hear from the man, Jimmy Eastman. Jimmy, go for it.
Hey, Anthony, I like your topic.
Yeah.
But I think we need to go dive deep into the anatomy of coalition and why they are successful before we even begin to talk about this. One of the key, the essential ingredients of a successful coalition is that the coalition, first of all, it has to be beneficial to all its constituent parts. There must be something in it for everybody. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, there must be mutual respect and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is key. And what a lot of things you're alluding to look like there's some lack of respect amongst us. Each partner must demonstrate an ability to understand the other person's point of view, even when there's disagreement.
Right.
Another third element, there must be a willingness to compromise. In other words, are you willing to compromise your view or to compromise or give somebody else who is more popular that chance to be the standard bearer? Are they really willing to? If without that willingness to compromise, the coalition cannot be successful. Okay? And last importantly is there must be a sense of partnership. Even if the members' parties are different in size, partnership means that they all have responsibilities and the positions are divided evenly amongst them. So these are key elements in a coalition that will make it successful. And to do that, you have to learn, you have to build it correctly. All right. How did they build that coalition? Okay. What were the interests of each party? You have to first of all know what the Liberty Party wants, what a Unity Party wants, what's the ALP Party wants, what are their interests? Okay. And so that is important because if they're not telling you, if they're not bringing their interests on board, then later on they may feel their interests are not met and they should quit. Then there has to be negotiations, right? And a process for negotiation, okay? Each party must know what they want to achieve in the coalition. What is Liberty Party objective and what they want to achieve in this coalition? Because if they all want to achieve to be standard bearer, then we're going to have a problem. So are they being honest to each other? Are they really putting the cards on the table? What they plan to achieve? You know?
Yeah.
Okay. So and then just for me to allude one more, you have to maintain a coalition. So you maintain a coalition, you have to have community, you have to have consultation at all levels. You have to have a dispute resolution. For instance, right now, the things that go on, there has to be a mechanism to resolve these disputes. It should not let it waste over and start blood shattering, or I say blood shattering, figuratively,
right.
or castigating each other all in the streets. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know if these things were considered when they came together. Because if these things were not considered, if their real objectives and their of each one are not being met and were not put on the table, then it's bound, it's doomed to fall apart.
So true, Jimmy. Thank you. We have a lot of callers waiting. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Let me bring in John Wallow. Oh, Maulo. Go ahead, Mr. Maulo.
How you doing, Mr. Spear?
Very well. Good seeing you. I mean, hearing from you.
Good. You see, I like theory. Theory is beautiful. But theory is almost never applied practically. A coalition, like Jimmy tried to say just now, coalition is a broad word. Which kind of coalition is where the definition you gave would be discerning, right?
Right.
Political coalition is different from engineering coalition or church coalition, or anything like that.
Right.
Even if it was church, where you're bringing four pastors together who were already running their church, who's going to be the head pastor? That's going to be an issue. You understand? Now, the nation, the big picture of the whole 5 million people or so is what should be on each person's mind.
Certainly.
Like, okay, we're going to go into this thing, but the focus here is Liberia. It's not necessarily me. So we're going to go through this process we laid out so that it can be as fair as possible. And if they don't choose me, I'm ready to abide. As long as we can get these people out of this and change this country for the better, Because people keep talking about getting we are out of there. What they're forgetting is getting we are out of there is not enough.
John,
getting we are out of there and changing the country for the better.
John, here's the thing, right? You have to give 2 solid reasons why you want we are. Now, they have been trying to give us one, right? Or many reasons, maybe not 2. First, you can tell us that we are is no good and give the reasons why. They've been able to do that to a greater extent. They've been enumerating all the things. But why you want to be? Why are you better than we are, right? You have to tell us this is why we are better than we are. And that is why they're not giving us. We all said that we didn't have plans. What are their plans? We want to see the plan. These people continue to tell, Unity Party has a platform, ANC has their own platform. We will pull it together. When? You have to do it. Let's see it.
Anthony,
yes.
Listen. Those things are all in the works. But first of all, first things first. Anything that happens too fast, it would not be good.
Okay.
Anything that happens too fast would not be good.
So it has to take more than 4. It have to take more than 4 years, John.
Listen to me. Listen, they haven't been doing that far for 4 years. They've been getting together. All right. Listen, I was in Europe when the EU started to come together.
Okay.
There were several times where people thought it won't happen. The CIA worked day and night to break it apart. Okay. In the end, they concluded that Germany would be the top because they had the most money. The next came France. All right. Britain were wishy-washy, and that's why they left the other day, because they didn't want their queen to be dominated and all of that. But the same kind of confusion, because all these countries were already built by themselves. So it's a complicated thing, complex to bring people together. But when they finally agree, it will be strong. And
but John, I thought they finally agreed. That's how come
this. Be patient. And you could only be patient for this convention to be over. When these people name their chairman, they see CPP will start to operate as a party.
All right.
But for now, they're operating individually, and so it's not cohesive. You cannot get a cohesive report from people operating individually.
Thank you.
It's not going to happen.
Thank you. They need to be cohesive now, because they are telling us they are a collaboration, so they need to be cohesive now. I don't want future, I want it now. That's why they told us they signed the framework. They are collaborating. Even in the framework that they signed, they describe themselves as alliance, as an alliance. It's just that we don't use to calling them an alliance, but they represent an alliance. But just because from the get-go, we're like, collaborating political parties, that what we are used to. This is an alliance. It is a unit. Let them function as a unit. And they're not doing it. I will be on their back. Aliu Kamara, you here to fight me? Go ahead.
No, not at all. How you doing today, my brother?
Oh, my man, I was just joking. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I hope you're doing all right. Listen, first of all, let me say a great thank you and appreciation to Ambassador Dr. His Excellency Garcia for the job well done in Lafayette County. And I must appreciate him for paying attention to some of the localities that have been forgotten for over a century, nearly 2 centuries, by central government. I applaud his attempt to decentralize the country. It's just that he's doing it without any format, nor any kind of arrangement, organization. But at least it is a step in the right direction. And I want to say thank him so much for that. I saw his attempt to help the people of Flooded Bunny that have never had even a high school farm, and they've been over there before even 1822. So that is a step in the right direction. Don't feel like I'm losing track of the actual thing that is more interesting, even though I know you said it in open mic, but I know you're more concerned about the CPP than any other group in Nigeria. Well, anyway, look, I heard you say something about the CPP, about the consistent fighting that goes on within the CPP. And I want to say this in this public manner that the ANC started this fight. They have short arms, and they started to fight with people who have longer arms. But I'm glad that their senator, Mr. Zena Benedict Cummings, has realized that it doesn't make sense to fight someone that you're not able to fight. You see, I'm about 200 pounds and about 5'11", and Anthony Speeder is 160 pounds and 5'8", and he wants to fight me anyhow. Unless he's a martial artist and a trained one at that, chances are that I will give Anthony Speeder a beat down, and he's fully aware of that. So there's no need for that. But I'm glad that the CPP is coming together to actually live up to their name and their nomenclature. So, but I want to thank you so much for this show. And whatever happens in the CPP, I still maintain Ambassador Jose Yamabata as of yet is the most qualified, the most competent, the most experienced. And as far as we're concerned, Ambassador Jose Yamabata will lead the CPP. And as far as we're also concerned, Ambassador Jose Yamabata will run in 2023. I just wanted to put it out there. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Aliyu. Oh, supporters of politicians, that's all they do. When they come, they tell us all is well. That guy is the one. Well, thank you. Thank you, Aliyu. Folks, those are all the calls that I was able to get for now. Let me come to some more comments here. Yeah, from Songa Mo. If CPP wants to be sincere or show sign of seriousness, they should make Cummings tenor bearer and give him their 100% support. In the meantime, we will be with the devil. We know, ha ha ha, that person said. Let's hear from George K. City. The political culture in Liberia is about the individual first and not about country first. No coalition ever survived election as a result. Everyone thinks he or she is better than the other. In the end, they will bring their group and say to the prospective winner, I bring my group to join you. What do you have for us? And that's can we contribute for the development of the country? Yeah, from Abraham Political Mandre Setu. I'm watching you live from the office of the Veterans Bureau of the most talk about Bekube Avenue in Do community. To be precise, Liberia. Oh, my country, Liberia. I love my people. All that language just to say I am speaking to you, joining you, or watching you from Liberia. Let's hear from Mr. Alhaji Sidiki Kuyati. Where are you? Which party are you supporting? Maybe try to say which party I'm supporting. I'm not supporting a party. All right, folks, we have to close it here, and let me close with this. The collaborating political parties, this photo op that they have shown us, I said to you that I am not naive as a student of politics. Symbolism in politics becomes meaningful. All depends on what you do after that symbolism. What are the elements that you have put into place to sustain that symbolism? Maybe not the word sustain, but to actualize that symbolism. Because the picture we see here is an attempt by the folks in the CPP to show to us, hey, the concern has been we are not unified. Here we are. Anthony said, well, you're big mouth. You see us? You see Omen Bwaka? I don't know why I like to call Mr. Bwaka Omen all the time. You see Bwaka? You see Cummings? You see Nyomley? Here we are. And I said to you, we have seen this kind of image before. During Ellen's time, we saw Joshua hand up. We saw this Mr. Cummings, this very Cummings hand up. We saw who hand we saw. Let me repeat. I hope I didn't say something wrong. We saw Benny Nayere hand up. We saw Prince Johnson hand up. We saw Mr. Alexander Cummings hand up. We also saw Charles Walker Bronsky hand up. They were the so-called collaborating political parties. I'm not sure it was called, but they were collaborating. They were trying to form a team to defeat Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. At that time, Bouaka was not in the picture. Bouaka was not in the picture because he was with the Unity Party. They were the one that was on the train taking Liberia to nowhere. And now, because he's out of government, he joined this bare welcome patriot taking to suggest to our people that they are together and they want to do it together. So we've seen this before. We also heard something that will make this person a one-term president. The Republicans said that about Barack Obama, but they could not actualize it. Obama destroyed them. And I told you about a purported collaboration then when Unity Party was in power that had included Cummings, Ure, Prince Johnson, George Weah, and Charles Walker Bronsky. It did not materialize. It went nowhere. It disintegrated. Reason? The fight rather was who to be the head at that time. George Weah felt he had a popularity. Mr. Charles Walker Bronsky felt that he has a better plan and he has better experience and he has some credibility, and so he wanted to be. Cummings at the time was new on the block. He said, hey, I'm the fresh guy here on the block. I'm new. I don't have all the noise behind me. I'm Mr. Clean. And Joshua was saying, hey, I'm Mr. Clean. It didn't happen. So we've seen this before. So actualize this symbolism, lest it become another useless symbolism. Actualize it. How you do that? You do that with a consolidated plan, a plan that is being crafted, a plan that is being bought, welcomed, received, owned by the majority. And when I say majority, the Liberian people have to be told about this plan. This plan will be explained to them. But the reason that is not in working right now, because first of all, you don't have one. And that is unfortunate on your part. So this symbolism I see here that is not backed by anything substantive, there is nothing behind it to actualize it. 100% chance that if you don't have anything that will actualize the symbolism, it will feel just like the Weah, the Cummings, the Prince Johnson, the Benny Nayere, and the Charles Walker Bronsky so-called symbolism fail at a time. This idea that will make Joshua a one-term president will become meaningless, just as former Speaker John Bailoff of the United States said a Republican. It did not materialize. Also, Mitch McConnell said he having to be a Republican, that they were going to make Barack Obama a one-term president. That was a symbolic statement that we will win, we have it together. It did not materialize because they didn't have the plan. The Republicans were against Obama because they said the Obama health care was expensive, was massive. Their campaign at the time, we will repeal and replace. But when Americans started paying attention, the Republican never had a healthcare plan. Even today, Republican never had a healthcare plan. The Republicans, somewhere, somehow, managed to win the election after Obama has earned his 2 terms. The Republicans that have projected that they had this plan, beautiful healthcare plan, have 4 years, and what happened? They did not give the American people a healthcare plan. The healthcare plan that America has today as an institution of government is that which Obama has given the American people. So you get the logic here. So you can use any beautiful phrase of your choice. And you think you're going to romance some people politically. Many will buy it, preferably, or most likely, that's the word I'm looking for. Your supporters, your surrogates, the people who support you, they just support you anyway, just because they love you, just because they are in opposition. But a guy like me who is looking for this glorious land of prosperity, I'm not going to take that lecture. No, I'm not going to take that lecture. Because what you are doing is not anything new. And I have just articulated that we have seen this before. I make the thing much more graphical in your mind. I'm not even using language that the ordinary man will not understand. I made the presentation, the expose, like a scenario for you to understand, something that you can relate to, something historical. So, folks, if this is what the CPP has to show us that they get it together, that they have gotten it together, this is not it. We are doing photo ops, and the opposition telling us our people are hungry, they are suffering, and the country is in bad shape, and the economy is in bad shape. I do agree. And what you do the same photo op? Seriously. You do the same photo op. You show me no plan like we had it. You use slogans like we had it. And the CDC did. That is what you are doing. And Mr. Cummings has popularized this statement. You cannot be doing the same thing over and over and expect a different kind of result. You are doing the same thing over and over right now from the time you came together. All we heard from you, Liberian people suffering, the government is corrupt. I get it. And so what next? What do you do about it? Other than telling us this spider story, a child at the age of 14 can lecture us. Because they don't want to get out in the morning, there's no meal. Sometimes that child goes to school, no recess. That child comes home, mama is in the market. She's selling the core. That child knows Liberians are suffering and that the economy is bad. Even that child knows. And you, an adult, claiming to be a man of serious mind or a woman of serious mind who wants to replace what we all agree is not doing better, and you do that same thing over and over. And yet, one of your leaders will tell us you can't be doing the same thing over and over and expect different result. Where is your team of economists? Where is your team of agriculturists? Where is your team of healthcare experts putting your healthcare plan together? Where are your team? Where is your team of engineers devising plans how to build the infrastructure in Liberia? Where is your team of technological experts putting plans together how to revolutionize the functions of government, making sure websites are built, payments are done online, that the bank's transactions are going online, that banks and government officials are using debit cards for transactions so that these things can be traceable to minimize corruption? Where is the team that is studying that, doing that, and putting that into place? And where can we find these things to read? For us to know that you are doing things differently and not the same. Where? We are in the 21st century. The 21st century. I am here on social media through technology, speaking to Liberians across the world. Beautiful. And you can't do something like that. 4 parties claiming to have all the qualified people among your midst, and you fight each other every day. What are you fighting for? Power? You're fighting for power. You don't have it in your hand yet, you're fighting. When you get it, you will not fight. The thing is not even in your hand, and you are fighting viciously. You are putting each other down. And after you've done that over and over, you come here with a picture, with a photo of, and you think you're ready for prime time. Majority of you go to media institutions that will be friendly and ask you or questions as though a man has met his sweetheart and is just lecturing. And that's all you do. Look, folks, I am looking for a glorious land of opportunity. I am looking for a glorious land of opportunity. A Liberia where that child gets a meal in the money. That if the mother cannot provide that, that child should get that meal on campus. And that Liberia must be built starting with a plan, starting with people, qualified people, really, to work together, not putting self-interest first, but putting the national interest first. You know, I see a bunch of bureaucrats coming together just so that they will get in government. Actions speak louder than words. Your actions has demonstrated that your core interest is to get into power. Your framework that you sign, making you an alliance. In that framework, you said, quote unquote, to be a member of the CPP government, a possible CPP government, you must be known, you must be active, and you must be visible. Isn't that in your language? I mean, in your framework? You must be known, you must be active, you must be visible. So if any Liberian is not known as a member of CPP, active as a member of CPP, and visible as a member of CPP, they are disqualified. You think I'm spinning that? Then make the language in a way that it does not leave room for others to entitle to themselves an interpretation that the language suggests. I will leave it here and I say to you folks, the CPP must go beyond symbolism. The CPP must go beyond symbolism. Holding hands that we are united. Holding hands that we have it together. They must go beyond that. They must actualize the symbolism with plans, concrete steps. Where is going from county to county? You can criticize it all you want. What are you doing? What are you doing? When will you get up and visit the counties? Liberians are in despair economically. Many of you sit in Monrovia and you think that you're ready. Your readiness should go beyond Monrovia. Your readiness should go beyond symbolism, taking picture and saying it, you know, giving off phrases like arts. That's the one we just heard from Joseph Yemambuaka, arts. Where can I go to read that art? Anyway, folks, focus on Liberia and Sunny the Hour of Politics. Brought you another exciting edition. I wanted you to be able to talk more. I think many of you, or some of you, I should say, did call. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you, especially my dear sister Hawa Meska, who came here to do what I love to do, to hold me accountable. I like that. I enjoy that. I think she should be consistent with that. But I too don't hold back. I fire back. Alice Jones writes, useless people calling themselves leaders. Chucho Jung again. All they want is power to take the Liberian people money from the budget like we are and pay themselves with this group. Josh, we will win. Joseph Johnson Davis, the only thing new about the coalition is coming, taking out. You will be left with nothing to sell. JMB is popular with Liberians in an opaque lens. That man used a word I'm not familiar with. I learned something today. I hope I pronounce it well. Anson and CPP wants to repeal the propo and replace it where we are. I like that one. That's fun, right? Good job, AS360. We will keep exposing the Liberia's corrupt political elites that just want power. Let me hear from Sarah here. So qualified people. Sarah is politically active. The framework says only partisan will receive employment. Well, folks, I have to leave it there. I don't want my partner Dennis Jar to think that I'm staying too long here. Hey, Dennis would never say that. That's a joke, folks. So, folks, let me bring you our commercials. We got some shows coming up here. Let me give you one. Tomorrow, Dennis Jar got a show here that you might not want to mix. This is Liberian known financial economist, political economist Samuel P. Jackson, recently has endorsed President George Malawi. Can you believe that? Mr. Jackson has been on the back of this government. He has ripped them apart. Even though he tried to work with them, and there is not working. He will come with his frustration. He will say, I gave up on them. The guys don't have it together. He been back and forth, like he's conflicted. He doesn't know what to do. And finally, the guy who have made all the noise about incompetence and all that, he has endorsed George Malawi. So Dennis Jar is going to keep him honest. Wednesday, right here, I focus on Liberia, and you do not want to miss it, and it's happening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not miss this show. Now, let me show you something else here, folks. Let me show you something else that is also key here. We have a lot of liners that are coming. Folks, oh, where is it? Okay, right here, folks. Right here. Right here also, there is a program here called Tough Talking Thursday that comes on Thursday. The promises of George Malawi. Oh, I will be on this one, folks. Oh, I will be on this one. The promises of George Malawi. Finally, we got all the promises that George Malawi has made. Wayman Kunin will be here. Mohammed Dukle will be here. Cole Famula will be here. Mohammed Sharif will be here. George Tule will be here. Anthony Sear will be here. Daniel Bakukenjuja will be here. We will go into the promises that President Weah made, and we will hold him accountable as to how he is doing with these promises. Also, on Friday, our literary hour with Dr. K. Moses Nambe and Jackie Sayer, a Fulbright scholar, will be right here on an author's interview, a book written by Augustine Sharif. The book is entitled The Nature of Shallow. I read this book, very juicy book. They will be having an interview with this author, Augustine Sharif. He is a Liberian who penned this particular book. Very juicy, is poetic. I can tell you, you do not want to miss that. Folks, on that note, the song that unites us, the song that empower me every day to fight for this glorious land of opportunity, Liberia, says we are all Liberians, and that song is taking us home right now. And so, folks, until I catch you another time on yet another exciting edition of the Hour of Politics, I'm Anthony C. saying to you, adios. Bye, folks.
We are Liberians.